Hi guys, today we're gonna show you how we do our roasted chicken with the Lebanese Middle Eastern marinade. So if you buy a whole chicken, I usually prefer like a pasture-raised organic chickens because it gives you the real chicken taste. Or you can buy chicken parts already cut up for you. And if you buy a whole chicken, then we have to take it apart. And we did a video on how to cut up parts of the chicken if you are interested. So it doesn't matter what chicken parts you use, it's your preference. Uh, Chicken breast or drumsticks or thighs or wings. The recipe and the marinade goes for any of these parts. And the reason I prefer to roast uh, chicken parts because I don't like to roast the whole chicken because the parts cook in different time. Like for example, the chicken breast will only take half the time that takes to roast the other parts of the chicken. So therefore, what I do is when I have a whole chicken, I took it apart, I take it apart and I cook the chicken breast and the chicken parts on for different times. So let's marinate our chicken parts. I always prepare everything I need when I read a recipe. So I always like to prepare everything and have it ready so I don't have to be running and searching for things for my recipe. So for the marinade, we're gonna need some garlic, paprika, some coriander, some cumin, ginger, ground ginger, allspice. Gonna have some nice tarragon, some red hot pepper flakes, ground fresh pepper, salt, little bit of lemon juice, chicken stock, and olive oil. We will post the recipe for you on our Facebook page. Okay, I'm gonna add salt, okay, freshly ground pepper, okay. I'm gonna have some nice tarragon. What I do is with the tarragon, any herbs, I really like to pulverize them with my hand so they release more of the flavor, okay? Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of ginger, okay, little bit of allspice, okay, okay, little bit of cumin, not much, okay, and a little tiny bit of coriander, okay, and paprika. On the paprika, be generous, okay, like that, nice. And if you like spicy stuff, you add a tiny bit of crushed hot pepper. Right, that goes a long way, okay? And now I add the garlic. I zest it with this zester. It comes very handy, you know? Or you can just mash it, whatever you like, okay? And I add some lemon juice. All right. I'll add chicken stock. If you buy it from the store, I prefer like organic chicken stock, okay? And we'll add some nice olive oil. I use extra virgin olive oil. Be generous, okay? So when I add all my marinade to the chicken, I make sure everything is coated with the marinade, okay? So here we are after I coat all my parts pretty well. Now I will cover it, and in my case here I'm gonna let it marinate overnight in the refrigerator. And but if you are in a hurry, you have to marinate it for about 3-4 hours before you roast it or grill it. And of course, when I bake or roast the chicken, I take it out from the refrigerator about an hour prior to roasting. Okay? So our chicken has been marinated overnight on the refrigerator. Now we're gonna take them out and put them in room temperature for about 45 to an hour before we start baking it. So we will let our chicken rest on room temperature before we roast it for about 45 minutes to an hour. As you can see here, this is our dark meat here, and this is our chicken breast. As I mentioned before, the cooking time between the dark meat and the chicken breast is different. So the chicken breast will take half the time of dark meat. So we'll let you know how long it takes. Okay, so our chicken has been at room temperature for about an hour now. So now we're gonna put it on a 350 convection oven, and we're gonna cook the meat for about 30 minutes. First, we put the dark meat for 15 minutes, and then we add the chicken breast, and we cook it for only between 12 to 15 minutes. So now we put the dark meat in for 15 minutes, and then we'll add our chicken breast and cook the whole thing for another 15 minutes. Okay, so after we cooking our dark meat for 15 minutes, now we add our chicken breast and we'll cook for another 15 minutes. So the whole thing will be cooking for 30 minutes. Here we are. Now we took the chicken breast. We're gonna test it if it is done. And so what we do is we poke it with a knife, and if any trace of blood comes out of it, it means we cook it another minute or so. So this is take only 14 minutes for the chicken breast. Now let's take the dark parts out. Here is the dark parts, and we check our parts to make sure they're perfectly cooked. So no trace of blood when we poke it with a knife. And so the dark parts, we cooked it for 30 minutes. And our chicken breast, we only cooked it for 14 minutes. Okay guys, I hope you like this recipe. And if you try it, let me know. All right.